Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news to go and cover out over here, where it does kind of seem like Xbox has apparently now, number one, lied. I'm not going to harp on that too much, but it's a pretty good clickbait, and it is also kind of true. And as well, we're also now seeing a really big Xbox price hike, and which is also kind of somewhat bad news too as well. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about the drama, because it does seem like it's going and pretty much confirmed, and as well as kind of the big viral news as of today, with as well Xbox, I believe, also having even more big bad court stuff also happening too as well with their exposure when it comes to PlayStation. So today's actually a little bit of preemptively a little bit of an anti-Xbox day, but there's kind of good reason for it. So if you guys don't think I'm going to be knocking on Xbox too much, I just want to go and talk about it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, give me your thoughts and comments throughout the video, because overall, at least it's kind of good that some of you guys may have already gotten your consoles as well. Of course, we have the Twitter and Twitch link down below, Amazon links for the consoles, and let's dive on in. So as you guys can probably go and tell by the video or video title, Microsoft right now is doing two major big price increases. Now, this is a little bit on the rougher side. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't really like this. It's kind of mediocre because I don't like the idea of these gaming consoles going up, especially after following suit from the PlayStation 5. So once again, not trying to be like too anti-Xbox, PlayStation did the same thing, if you guys remember quite a few months back. But right now, it does seem like it's kind of confirmed in a really big viral article over here from The Verge as of today, is that Microsoft is hiking the price of Xbox Series X, like the console itself, and the Xbox Game Pass. And as well as you guys probably remember, they also did go and increase up the price point too as well, although somewhat offering a brand new product of the Xbox Series S bundle, like the brand new black Xbox Series S with more hardware. But this one doesn't seem like it's any big changes. So right now, the Xbox Series X pricing, though, thankfully, and a lot of you guys are American and more so like English primary speakers, I guess for lack of a better term, Xbox Series X pricing will be remaining the same in the United States, but it will be matching PS5 pricing in most other markets. And one of the bigger things, too, is the Xbox Game Pass prices are also going up in most markets. Now, the kind of bigger thing and why it's like an Xbox has lied / whatever, I will go and say, it's just a slightly better title, don't judge me, you playing the YouTube game, whatever. They did go and try their best to say that there will be a price increase at some point. We kind of knew it was coming. We saw Phil Spencer, well, basically say it. But there's also a lot of, I think, more of where the lie is, / kind of the very more so white / gray truths over here, is that they were trying their best not to go and impose or increase prices, especially when it comes to the Activision acquisition deal. They basically didn't want to be like to these big regulators and monopolies and antitrust issues and buying out and spending $70 billion to then instantaneously increase the price point of various things. It'd be like if Netflix spent like $100 million on a big TV show, and then the next day they went and released up the prices. But that's not the bang comparison. That'd be like Netflix trying to buy HBO, and then the second it gets bought out, they raise the prices. Or if you want to use like a PlayStation example, so I don't get yelled at for people calling me like a hater, like say like they have Funimation and Crunchyroll, which is now currently owned by PlayStation, and then they go and instantaneously raise the prices by $5 per subscription. Yeah, that's kind of rough and kind of bad, and what these big regulators have been trying to avoid. And they did try to go push a lot from Microsoft that they didn't want to affect their products or change their products or all this type of stuff you guys have probably heard throughout the Xbox acquisition saga. So it's a little bit on the rougher side, let alone for them just increasing prices, which is not good for any of us, the consumer, as well as also people still trying to buy their consoles, especially because don't forget this console's almost 3 years old, and typically we'd be assuming the price would be decreasing rather than increasing, as well as also Game Pass prices going up too, with not that much to go show for it, besides maybe the preemptive Starfield drop. So all around, let's go talk about this a little bit more. I want to hear your thoughts on that kind of big info blast. Not the biggest, I understand price increases, I'm not too much of a hater, but it is a little bit on the rougher side, and it does kind of seem like Xbox is kind of somewhat staying away from what they're trying to go and say. So Microsoft is increasing its Xbox Series X console prices in most countries in August, apart from the United States, Japan, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia. The Xbox maker is also increasing the monthly price of its Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions for the first time in next month. So which will be seeing the base Game Pass subscription for the console price move up to $10.99 a month from $9.99. Now, once again, it's only $1. But don't forget, if you guys want to harp on this stuff, that's an extra $12 a year. It's not the biggest deal. I could afford it. I think most of you guys probably can. But it just kind of stinks because they're like, yeah, we're not going to have to worry about prices. We don't plan on changing stuff for the foreseeable future. And apparently this is now the foreseeable future, or at least somewhat past the foreseeable future too as well. This also does have the Activision acquisition kind of in limbo. I mean, I'd be like, hey, if they somehow bought Call of Duty and rose the price $1 for Call of Duty, sure, I'd be okay with it. But right now, it still kind of seems like they haven't really proven themselves with most Game Pass besides indie games. And although they just had their Xbox conference and people are hyped up for Xbox, they still have nothing to show from that conference so far. Like, they haven't released a game up as of yet. My kind of interpretation is they're probably just waiting right before Starfield comes out, because obviously it's coming out later on throughout this year. They let people be adjusted to these actual price points. Or maybe if they're a first-time subscriber, like they maybe liked all these Bethesda RPGs back in the day, and they're like, oh, okay, $11, whatever, because they just never saw the initial prior price point. That might have been their thought process. I could be wrong, though, but like I said, they want to do this by August. They want to release it by fall for Starfield. Like, it makes sense in my mind. You give me your thoughts. We've held on our prices for consoles for many years, and funny enough, still, this is a old console now at this point. It's not too old, but it is a little bit old, and also have adjusted the prices to reflect the competitive conditions in each market. Once again, though, I feel like just because PlayStation can get away with it, not saying that PlayStation's even right, I feel like it's bad that they raised their prices, but as well, it's kind of weird for us to go and see Xbox trying to go and follow suit, mainly because they maybe think they can make money or whatever it might be. I don't know. I don't want to harp on them too much. PlayStation's done the same thing, so it's like not like oh, Xbox is worse than PlayStation. It's more of just they're both kind of just trying to take as much money as they can out of the consumer. Inflation makes sense, like actual like semiconductor issues, sure, production issues, sure, whatever it might be, but it just doesn't feel nice. So Xbox Series X console pricing will largely be matching the price hike that Sony announced as of last year, with them moving to around $480 in euros in the UK, around 550 euros across most European markets. I know this is the British pound, don't judge me. 650 CAD in Canada, and $800 odd for odd, starting as of August 1st. So basically, if you guys are in these other regions or have family there, tell them to get their consoles first if they want it. They will not be changing the Xbox Series S pricings, though, as time has gone on. While Xbox Series X pricing adjustments have been expected after Sony's move last year, Xbox chief Phil Spencer also hinted in October that pricing and subscriptions wouldn't hold forever, which is fine. They have talked about that, but they've also talked, as I mentioned, too, on other stuff, that they were trying not their best to change prices, or at least in the foreseeable future. So it's one of those, like, kind of give or takes. Like, it's kind of one of those things where inflation over time, no matter what, will increase price points. It's like a big duh. It's like gas. Like, in 30 years, gas is going to cost more money. It's like an expectancy. But when they were trying to go be in this awkward, like, kind of playing safe mode for the Activision acquisition, it does kind of rub quite a few people off the wrong way. I saw a lot of people complaining about this and kind of quoting out similar comments on Twitter and Reddit, as well as I've kind of seen for this. Like, once again, I get it. I understand why. I don't want to harp on it too much. It's just kind of lame news. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Game Pass for console pricing will increase starting as of July 16th. So Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will move from $15 to $17. So it's an actual $2 price bump. And then the base Xbox Game Pass for console pricing will also move from $9.99 to $11 or so. Microsoft is not changing the PC Game Pass pricing, though, which is kind of weird. Mainly just easier for them to go and, I don't know, maybe collect data and resell that. Maybe ads. They were talking about maybe throwing in ads on Game Pass type style subscriptions. Or, I don't know. There's like a lot of various things. I mean, maybe PC is just easier. Maybe it's like less hardware issues. Maybe it's less infrastructure costs. I have no idea exactly why, but it looks like PC is still normal. Maybe it's more so because maybe PC is one of their biggest markets, and Bethesda games are more traditionally played on PC. Like, I remember a lot of folks playing Skyrim on PC, more so, and like Fallout, probably more so for mods, I'd imagine, but either way. And if you're an existing Game Pass monthly subscriber, then these new recurring prices won't actually take effect until August 13th or September 13th in Germany. New Xbox Game Pass members will see the prices immediately on July 6th. And if you're subscribed to Game Pass through a yearly code, the new pricing won't take effect until you renew your subscription as well. So basically, these most markets will be affected too on top of this for all the price increases too, although some will be remaining and staying the same depending on where. So basically, Norway, Chile, Denmark, Switzerland, and Saudi Arabia will be also being normal. So if you guys do live in any other separate countries, or maybe a family or whatever it might be, there's just a lot of little small price bumps up, which I'm just not the biggest fan of. Like, you guys can kind of do a quick little scroll through on this one. They haven't changed their Game Pass price since launching the subscription in 2017, so this is why it's a little bit more of either crazier news, because it's been like 6 years or so at this point, and they want to go and say, and they want to stress this, as I was talking about, that it's not related to the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. I kind of feel like it is, in my honest opinion, because they want to keep putting games in Game Pass, so losing money off of Xbox game sales. It just makes sense. So they say these Game Pass price adjustments are not related to the Activision Blizzard deal and are intended to match local market conditions, says Perez. I could kind of believe it. Every other big company's also bumped up their prices. I can't judge them too hard. But once again, just kind of just meh. Like, I think a lot of folks right now, there's been a lot of really bad Xbox news. We'll have probably another video throughout the next, like, later on today and also probably tomorrow, too. There's just been a lot of really bad Xbox news, and it kind of just seems like it's just, we had a really good conference. People were excited for upcoming games and Starfield, all these other cool games as well, and people are just meh. So Microsoft's Xbox subscription changes follows a general trend in price hikes over the past couple of years for entertainment subscriptions. So basically, we had Netflix raising their prices too as well. We also had other things like Disney Plus and Hulu too on top of that, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. So it kind of does make sense for Microsoft to move up. It kind of fits the market conditions. I totally get it. Although Nintendo, funny enough, still has not changed it as well. And then Sony did change their updates. So give me your thoughts and comments, because I'm not really happy about them making the price points go up on the consoles and Game Pass too. It makes sense though in the economy, but it's never fun news to report on. Give me your thoughts and comments. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. We also have all the Amazon stuff down below too as well. I just appreciate you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys later on today for more videos.